warm welcome, everybody. Sports Tiger presents Captain's Report. This is a very special segment where we see as how the captains have performed in the Indian T20 League thus far. And I, Vedant Sharma, along with, of course, Yuvraj Dua, will be giving marks out of 10. And let's see how it actually pans out. The first captain in our list is, of course, Dinesh Karthik, the captain of Kolkata. How has he performed? Let's look at how and with against which team he has played. So he started off with Mumbai, and that was a loss, but they came back strongly against Hyderabad. And after that, they have played against Rajasthan, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, and Punjab. So they have played a total of 7 games and have been able to win 4 out of the 7 games they have played with a win percentage of 57.14. So it wouldn't be wrong to say that Kolkata has done well. However, they would want to forget their last game, of course. They could have done a little better in that. But overall, Dinesh Karthik's captaincy has come out really well for Kolkata. And they would be hoping that things can improve from here on. So if I need to give him marks, I would probably say that it's 6.577 out of 10.
7 out of 10 for Dinesh Karthik. I think that's a good number of points. Then we move on to KL Rahul, of course, the captain of Punjab. They started again with a super over against Delhi, which they lost, of course. Then they won their second match against Bangalore, and it looked like Punjab was the team for the season. But after that, 5 consecutive losses. They've not really found their feet. They've not found their combination. There's actually more negatives to talk about if you talk about the Punjab team and Rahul as a captain. And it's not a good story so far for KL Rahul as his first tournament as a captain in any competitive competition. So they have only a win percentage of 14.28%, winning just 1 game out of their 7. If I had to give marks for KL Rahul, he hasn't been the best captain. He hasn't made the best decisions. Sometimes his team selections have also not been up to the mark. But that's a combination of the captain and the management. So he's not totally wrong there. But I think partially also he's done a bit. He's done well individually, but as a captain, I think he might have failed his team. I'd like to give him maybe 4.5 out of 10. That's a bit low, but I think that's been the story for Punjab so far.
Well, I think Yuvraj, you were very generous to give 4.5 out of 10 on a performance of 1 out of 7. And that's something we really appreciate. Let's move on to the Bangalore captain, and that is, of course, Virat Kohli. Now, Virat Kohli's captaincy was under the radar, whether he is good or not when it comes to Indian T20 League. But he has been able to prove everybody wrong with his performance in this year's Indian T20 League. How good he has been, winning 5 of the 7 games he has captained. He played against Hyderabad, Punjab, Mumbai, Chennai, and Rajasthan, Delhi, and Kolkata, of course, and winning against Hyderabad, Mumbai, Rajasthan, Chennai, and Kolkata. That's some good stuff by Bangalore, of course, and they have been able to dominate in the tournament thus far. Currently, they occupy the third position on the points table with winning 5 games, a total of 10 points, with a win percentage of 71.42, something we haven't seen with Bangalore in past. So very impressive performance by them. And with Virat Kohli's individual performance as well, blend with his captaincy, I would like to give him 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. I think a good description of how Virat Kohli has gone this season. Then we move on to the Rajasthan captain, the overseas captain, Steve Smith, of course. They have not been the best in this season so far. Again, we thought that one team who was looking good, their balance was looking good, but again, they have not yet turned up to their full strength and to their full speed at the moment. Steve Smith has led them fairly well, maybe making one decisions haywire here and there. Not playing Robin Uthappa at the top of the order would be one blemish for me, one negative, and one thing he should have done earlier. Apart from that, his bowling rotation has been really good. When he's bowled Jofra Archer at the right times and other bowlers, Rahul Tewatia has operated fabulously. They have won 3 out of 7 games, which have been against Chennai, Punjab, and Hyderabad. They had a certain liking towards Sharjah, And Steve Smith personally also had a liking towards Sharjah, but last match also they lost against Delhi at Sharjah, so their record is going down with each game. 42.85% is their win percentage. And if I had to rate Steve Smith, I think it would be 5.75 out of 10.
5.7. I think that's also a very, very good number for Steve Smith. And they have been there has been a hill for Rajasthan. Let's move to the next captain, and we will talk about Rohit Sharma. Whenever you talk about Indian T20 League, the first captain which comes to your mind is, of course, Rohit Sharma, winning 4 IPL titles in 7 editions says something good about a captain, and that's how he has been. When they came into this tournament, they came with a baggage of defending champions and at the same time losing 5 games on trot in UAE conditions. They lost their first game, the opening game, which was played on 19th of September against Chennai, and it looked like that the fairy tale in UAE is continuing. But the way they have been able to make a comeback, that has been one to watch. Winning against Kolkata, losing against Bangalore, it looked like that they are going on the downslide, but then they made a comeback, winning against Rajasthan, Punjab, Hyderabad, and Delhi. Their win percentage is 71.42, and they currently occupy the topmost position on the points table with 10 points. So I think with his captaincy and with the way he has played individually, I would like to give him 9 out of 10.
Let's move on to the next captain. Of course, a captain of a team who has been on a similar trajectory as Mumbai, of course, and that is I'm talking about Shreyas Iyer, of course, the youngest captain in this tournament, and he's very young as compared to the captaincy standards. They have, of course, won 5 out of 7 games. As I said, similar trajectory to Mumbai. Against Punjab, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Bangalore, Rajasthan, and Mumbai, they have played against. They have won their games, 5 games out of those 7, of course, with a win percentage of 71.42%. Shreyas Iyer's captaincy has been brilliant to watch again. From the moment he has taken on the captaincy of Delhi, he's just looked so confident. He's looked in the zone, and it looks like he's a born leader. In the future, he might be lined up for captaincy after Virat Kohli. We might see that soon, and I've been very impressed with how he has marshaled his troops, especially how he has handled his senior players of the side. Sorry, beg your pardon for saying calling them citizens. And I've been really impressed with his captaincy. I'll give him 9.5 out of 10.
Perfect. Let's move to the second last captain in the list. Somebody we expect a lot but hasn't been able to deliver. Yes, you caught me there. I'm talking about David Warner. We expected so much from him as a player, as a captain, but unfortunately, things aren't keeping well for a side like Hyderabad. They started off with Bangalore and then they moved against Kolkata, lost their first 2 games, but then they made a comeback against Delhi and then, of course, Chennai. And then their matches against Mumbai, Punjab, Rajasthan. They struggled to get the best 11 in the place, and that seems to be a issue for a side like Hyderabad. They are not able to close games. That is very, very important. Something they have been able to do in the past, but this edition they haven't been able to do. Even then, the last game against Chennai, they lost, and they need to see as what best can be done. As of now, their win percentage is just 37.5%, winning 3 out of the 8 games they have played, winning against Delhi, Chennai, and Punjab, and they would look forward to changing their fortunes. As of now, I give 5 out of 10 to Hyderabad.
Let's move on to, of course, last but not the least, none other than MS Dhoni. I think that picture on the graphic says all about the campaign of Chennai this season. They have again won 3 out of 8 games, as very similar to Hyderabad again. They have won their 3 games against Mumbai, which was the first game of the season. After that, they won against Punjab, and now the latest game against Hyderabad. It's not been a great story, as I've said again and again. After 12 years, we are seeing a bit of downfall, but still, too early to say that. I've again been impressed with MS Dhoni captaincies. That's no doubt. But the most points I will deduct is from the aspect of how he has shuffled the batting order, especially his own position. That's where I'll deduct most of the points. And apart from that, not many chinks for MS Dhoni as a captain. He's always so good. I think you and me are no people to give points to MS Dhoni. But as of course analyzers of this game, we have the liberty to do that. I'll give him maybe 8 out of 10. Their win percentage being again 37.5%. MS Dhoni can himself do better with his individual performances, but with the batting order in his hand, I think he can do wonders with how he operates the batsman.
So that's it from Captain's Preview. I hope, Captain's Report rather, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, keep watching Sports Tiger because a lot of good content is on your way.